I think that for me, it was like such a reminder, and I needed that reminder, Jeff. Like in that morning, I needed to be reminded of that for me too. So it's like that back and forth, like how God does that. He's like talking to my heart through her and vice versa. It's never like a one-way thing. You can never outgive God. You know what I mean? Sometimes you feel like, oh, that person didn't pray for me, or, well, Jesus is praying for you every day. He is interceding for you every day. And like when it's like a shift in your mind, when you get that, you're like, wow, that is so cool. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'd also like to say that something that has been really attacked in my life is my voice.
Well, fancy that.
Well,
No surprise there.
No surprise. And
Yeah.
you can't make it up. Like you just be like laughing, like not being able to speak, laughing because I'd go to sing and I'm like, I just would lose my voice suddenly. I'd be like, are you kidding me? This is so funny. Like I have to just laugh about this because my voice is such a threat that it has to like disappear, or I'd get sore throats all the time, or like there would be so many things like where people would actually tell me to shut up. Like when I was a teenager, I was in relationships where people would tell me to shut up when I sang. They'd be like, don't ever sing in front of me.
Jeez.
And I'd be like, and because I was influential and I'm a teenager and I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah, they must be right,
Yeah, they must be right. And so I just want to encourage anyone, who's listening, like whatever, if that's happening to you, where there's an area where someone is particularly attacking that area of you or putting you down about it, that's probably a really glorious place that the Lord is using you.
Yes.
And like, that's what he'll use. And so maybe he's like pointing out to you, that is the area I need you to speak into, or I need you to move into. And it's like, that's how God is using even a mean person to highlight what God needs you to do.
Yeah, that is a big deal, Gracie, what you just talked about, because let that be an encouragement to whoever's watching this or listening to this, is look at some areas of your life where you're really feeling under attack right now. And maybe they've been some that have been like perpetually under attack over the course of many years. Okay. Look at those. Satan can see in the spirit better than we can, which is annoying. I'm going to be honest. It is very annoying because he's the worst. But he can see what God is doing in your life better than we can often, which is also annoying. And so if there are any areas in your life that are under attack right now, that's a good indicator that that's actually a source of strength. And that's an area that God is actually designed you to shine in. So for me, a big area that I got attacked in was my confidence, and as a result, and just rejection. And as a result, I am a born leader. I am a natural leader. I can recognize that. But for, before I was really walking with the Lord, I was incredibly shy and constantly felt rejection from people. And I actually realized once I came to know the Lord and he began to minister those things to me, like all of a sudden it was like this switch for me. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm actually an extrovert, and I'm very social. And so I realized that. And then also I'm a great unifier. Like I love unity and I love people, but that was one of the areas I got attacked in. It was like, keep Jeff subdued, keep him in the corner, quiet, and get him believing that nobody cares about him or wants to hear what he has to say. And so for you, Gracie, it was similar in that, nope, keep Gracie quiet. Don't get her to speak. Keep her mouth shut. Let's get her to, that's the goal. We have to keep her mouth shut.
And also, I think it's something there are other ways. It wasn't always people, because I have been very encouraged as well. So like on the flip side, people are like, you should sing, you should, but I'd already had these lies that I was believing. So I was like, I'm not a good singer. I just really can't sing. And you know, I was affirming the lies and building it, even creating more struggle. But also it's just like the lies that we're believing about ourselves have such power. And so I just think it's just to like you said, to recognize like what lies are you believing, and just right now, like as we are speaking, write them down. What lies am I believing? Like action it, because it can just be done right now. And then you start saying the opposite. So like, Jeff, you're a great communicator. You're a fantastic networker. You were born to be a leader. You're incredible at this, you know, like, and really start affirming ourselves to ourselves.
Yeah.
And after this happened to me, you know, with the self-hatred, basically, it was desperately self-hatred. I mean, I really tried to hate myself as much as I possibly could. And so on the opposite, one day, I wasn't even that close to Jesus, but I realized this is going so bad. Like I was basically dying. Like I had hated myself so much that I was laying in bed and I couldn't move, and I started to go blind, and I couldn't feel my arms or hands, and I lived on my own, and I couldn't get out of bed, and I knew if I got out of bed I would kill myself, because I was so desperate. And I went to the hospital and the doctors, and I said, hey, I am so sad. I don't know how to cope with it, but I'm coming to tell you so that I'm accountable to someone, because I feel like I want to kill myself. They would not, and I didn't get any help, no help whatsoever. And I had insomnia, so I couldn't sleep at all. So I was just awake in my own brain, which was self-hatred, losing all power because I've been talking self-hate over me.
Yeah, it's like a living hell almost. You know,
And, well, it perpetuates. And so that then there was just like this moment, like, okay, if you don't change this, you are going to die. And then you'll never know. You'll never know if it was going to be okay. So I think it was like I had enough energy to get out of bed, and I wrote on my mirror with such pain and like resentment, I love you. I love you. And I'd stand there and I'd be like, I love you. I love you. And I'd be so cross with myself. And I kept saying it until I started to believe that I loved myself. And now obviously that's very worldly as well, you know, because I hadn't invited Jesus in. But it was a really good start. And that was I guess it was just like I understood that unless I make the choice, even if God crashes in, I still have to make the choice. I still have to make the choice to continue to say good things when bad things happen. I have to keep saying God is good even if my life is falling apart.